What did we do? Sheesh. That doesn't sound good. Found the problem.
Yeah,
The problem is the AC compressor seized up and popped the pulley right off of it. It's kind of hard to see because of all the hoses and stuff, but she's down in there. Debating on what to do here. I think I might fix it and keep it, drive it around for a few months, and then maybe get rid of it before anything catastrophic happens. It's pretty nice. Overall, it's clean. I just don't know what to do. Should I get my money or should I have a nice car to drive around for a little bit? Alrighty, that was the trick. Was just lift it up a hair. I just loosened the one side motor mount. Put the jack under the exhaust manifold. And I just gave her a few pumps and it gave me just enough to do this. So we'll pull the plug out, see how that looks. Pop the fresh one in. Put that cylinder number 1 in because it's still out. And then probably check the cylinder number 3 to make sure it's not still wet. And then we'll go put some fresh gas in it. Alright guys, it's still a little wet actually. I really don't know if these were bad or not. They're definitely old, that's for sure. The electrode seems a little iffy. Well, we'll pop the one in either way and see what happens. This one was sitting in there all night and never was pulled in or out. So, like I said, I'll pop the number 3 out real quick, see if it's still wet. If it is, I'll let them all dry out for a little bit before we try anything. Yeah, it's pretty wet. Alright, here's my ghetto injector Noid light tester. I got 2 wires going in. The one's clamped to the test light's clamped to the other wire. As you can see there, that one wire going into the injector harness is actually split. Don't know if that's the issue. I don't think that one injector harness bed would even be a problem. It should still run on 3 cylinders. But either way. Well, it looks like we got injector. Alright guys, I'm so stumped on this. Now I'm not seem to be getting any spark. I don't get it. I just cleaned up the wheel for the crank and for the cam and tried to spray the sensor off as best as I could. And I was just spraying starting fluid straight into the throttle body with the plate opened up a little bit. No sputtering. The fuel pump doesn't seem to be running anymore. I don't know if it's out of gas and it's trying to run, but I don't hear it doing anything at all. But either way, now I'm getting no spark, as I'm about to show you. So, I know you're kind of far away, but there's absolutely no spark going on there. Don't understand what is happening here. I did notice this. The cam sensor has that little hole in it. I don't know if it's meant to be like that or not. I was about to pull the one off of my Impreza, but it's actually different because it's a non-turbo and it's a 2.5. It sits in a different space and it would be a major pain to uninstall, so I'm not going to do that. I'll probably just order up a cam sensor and a crank sensor, I guess. I attempted to remove the crank because I wanted to clean it better, but I can't seem to get it out. It spins, but it doesn't pull up at all, and I didn't want to break it without having a replacement. If you guys have any ideas, please let me know. I was told to check these pins in the harness here. They're known to corrode. Everything seems fine to me. I did continuity tests on all 4 wires, power and ground, for the cam and crank. They all appeared to be good yesterday. What else did we do yesterday? I checked the power to the coil, the constant power. It had constant power. I'm not able to check the pulse power because I need a oscilloscope. My voltmeter doesn't pick it up, I guess, or it's not sending it, but there's no way to know without an oscilloscope. So I'm not going to go ahead and say that's not sending any signal, but it doesn't make sense. I'm going to recheck the main power to the coil, make sure that's good again, but I'm stumped. I don't understand why it won't send a spark now. We did have a spark before. I found a couple wires right here that are taped up and they've been repaired at once. This one's been soldered. It's actually a decent connection, but I hate tape. So what I'm going to do is cut these all, butt splice them and heat shrink them just to eliminate that from any potential issues. I really hope the ECU isn't the problem, but that's probably the next step. And the ECU is like $200 for this car, which is pretty ridiculous, but I guess you gotta pay to play, so it is what it is. Alright guys, I'm gonna do a couple more things, try to figure something out, but this is just stumping me at this point. Oh guys, I just nearly caught the car on fire. But we got sputters now. I just sprayed the throttle body and it backfired and blew up. And nearly caught everything on fire. But I just had it running again for a second off of the remaining starting fluid, and it took it pretty well. So I'm scared to miss it again because I don't feel like dealing with that again. We almost burnt all these wires down. I don't think any of them got punctured though. But we need some fuel because I think it is out of fuel, or I don't hear the fuel pump running. So need some fuel and then we'll start it again. Maybe cleaning those cam sensors was the trick and we just popped this ignition fuse when we were doing some testing the other day. I really don't know, but we will find out. Well, after all that, I think the problem was that we were messing around with batteries that didn't have enough juice to power the car up without being charged instantly. Put my battery for my Impreza on it, started right up, and then what I did was hook the alternator up and tried it with a couple different batteries, and wasn't running perfect as you've seen, but it was definitely something to do with battery, low voltage, etc. So still got to fix all those wires we found in the process, but I think it was all just low voltage problems. So if that taught you guys anything, it's don't mess around with batteries, which is pretty funny because I already kind of went through this with my STI once before. But regardless, we figured it out for the most part. We got to get the lower coolant hose, that fitting, welded up, just a tack on the one spot. Then we can fill this thing up and really run it, let it warm up and see what happens. Put the wheels on it, blah blah blah. So hopefully next video this thing's moving, or at least the hubs are spinning on jack stands. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned.